Hey, what is going on to the Shiba Inu family and to the Shiba Inu army? As we all know, Shiba Inu has already started to explode, but here is why. There's even more proof with Kathy Wood's data analytics website and also the Coinbase news that is hinting at yet another explosion, even more than the one that we have right now. So first of all, let's start off with Kathy Wood's data analytics website. So this website is not made by Kathy Wood herself. However, it was made by a bunch of coders, and so here's what they have compiled. So if we go all the way here, I just want to bring your attention to one of these equities that Kathy Wood herself has been liquidating, or at least this is what it seems like. So we see Tesla, and no, this is not a Tesla video. Take a look at this. In the month of November, or at least in the beginning of November, this equity started off with $2.6 billion into it. However, as we go just to November 10th, just a few days later, look how much got liquidated. We are now at $2.1 billion just for Tesla. That means that they had an insane amount of liquidation happening in just a few days. Okay, now that we know that amount of information, the next question we must ask ourselves is, where did that liquidation go into? And this is not just with Kathy Wood. Kathy Wood is not the only person that is deciding to sell her Tesla shares. So if she is selling her Tesla shares, and if a lot of other individuals are selling their Tesla shares, as you can see over here, it's not happening with one ETF, not two, not three, but many of them. So if we go over here, now let's take a look at the Shiba Inu. So also on the same website, let's see where Shiba Inu stands in terms of market cap, because I'm guessing that many decide to take their Tesla funds, and now you ask yourselves, where is that funds going to be proceeded to now? And so you could tell yourselves Bitcoin, Ethereum, yes, all these three, because these are the ones that have the highest market cap, right? We go all the way here, Bitcoin number one, Ethereum number two. However, we also have Dogecoin just coming in a little bit lower, and now let's go and try to find Shiba Inu coin. So it's not even at the top, everyone. This is so important. This is why I'm going to emphasize it a lot throughout this video, because Shiba Inu has a lot of opportunity in the future. The reason for that is because we are not at the top of this list. We are not above Dogecoin. In fact, we have a long way to go, just a little bit, to even reach that Dogecoin threshold. And then after we decide to go above Dogecoin, or if that is a possibility, then that would mean that we would start going into the new threshold or a new margin box. However, again, we are not in that margin box just yet. Okay, we have quite a bit to go because we have all these other coins to try to surpass. And so again, this is why that opportunity comes in. And so if you guys were asking yourselves, well, how did Shiba Inu just randomly decide to go up in the coin price? Well, then there is your answer. It wasn't just Kathy Wood liquidating. It wasn't just a lot of individuals liquidating. But when you add those two components together, then that is what creates your spike. And this is just one reason why Shiba Inu may have decided to go up. Now keep in mind that this number does represent the market cap. And so if we go over here, let's try to take a look at where the coin price stands right now. So if we go over here, Shiba Inu coin in terms of the coin price and not the market cap, we see that yes, this is the explosion that I was talking about. However, how much farther can it go? Well, we're going to get into that after we talk about what Coinbase just decided to hint at. Now, this is even more important than the news I just stated. So this news is going to be in direct relation to Coinbase. It's not going to be with any analytical website. It's going to be specifically to the platform that allows Shiba Inu to be traded. Kraken does not allow Shiba Inu to be traded, so this is why this is going to be extremely important. And as a matter of fact, if you guys have not shared this video already with your fellow Shiba Inu holders, make sure you guys do so, because in my opinion, I think this information could really help our fellow holders. So Coinbase reported a weaker than expected revenue for the third quarter. Not many individuals know about this, and here's why it is so important. This has the possibility of transforming more individuals into another wealth class. You guys will understand what I'm talking about in just a few seconds, so stay tuned. And then over here, we have key point number two. The number of monthly transacting users dropped from the last quarter. This is the news that I exactly want to talk about, and we are going to be talking about this specific news a lot. And so both Bitcoin and Ethereum hit a new all-time high this week. So here we go. I'm going to be talking a lot again about this point over here. So Coinbase, the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the United States. This is very important, because why would they allow Shiba Inu if this coin did not have a lot of opportunity, if this coin did not have a lot of demand? These are the questions that we need to start asking ourselves. And if you do not have a lot of conviction in this one coin, then here it is, okay? Because a platform like Coinbase, they wouldn't allow such a coin to be traded if they didn't have a strong army behind it. And so reported third quarter earnings after the bell on Tuesday and missed analyst estimates on revenue. The stock fell more than 13% in after hours trading. Yes, this did happen, and we are going to be talking about the charts in just a few seconds, because you guys will be able to see just how much this one equity decided to drop. And so here's how Coinbase did with analyst estimates. So their earnings was at $1.62 per share. And so here's where it got really interesting, because they had 1.31 billion versus 1.57 billion as the estimate. So they end up losing. Yes, that did happen. And they did not end up beating earnings estimates. Here's why. Because the investors were expecting 1.57 billion. However, their actual revenue was at 1.31 billion. Now, here is where it gets really important. I know I've been saying that a lot, but it truly does get really important over here. So Coinbase said monthly transacting users fell from their prior quarter. dropping to 7.4 million from 8.8 million in the second quarter. And I'm going to be telling you guys why this matters. So the number was up from 6.1 million a year earlier, absolutely phenomenal. Trading volume fell to 327 billion from 462 billion in the previous quarter. Here's exactly how it relates to Shiba Inu and to this one coin. So Coinbase decides to make their money based on how many transactions happen per quarter, per year, per month, whatever the time margin is going to be. And in the next article, I'm going to be talking about one individual actually transformed his or her $8,000 into $5.3 billion. And so many understand this concept. This concept is not abnormal anymore because individuals are doing this. And so now they understand they do not want to sell their Shiba Inu coin. They do not want to sell their Dogecoin. And this is where it gets even better for the Shiba Inu holders because many are not going to sell anymore. This prevents a lot of paper hands. And so with less paper hands, that means that there's more of a possibility and more of a likelihood that Shiba Inu has a probability of going up in coin price rather than down. Transacting users fell from the prior quarter. What does this mean? This means that more people are holding and less people are selling. This is absolutely phenomenal for the Shiba Inu holders, and this is why it's so important that we understand this. So again, if you haven't already, make sure you guys share this video with your fellow Shiba Inu holders. Now, on to the next point. We are not going to read this entire article because, quite honestly, that was the important news. And this was a quote by the Coinbase company. So this states that as our year-to-date results have clearly demonstrated, our business is volatile. This also makes sense with Shiba Inu's coin price. And the company also added, Coinbase is not a quarter-to-quarter investment, but rather a long-term investment in the growth of the crypto economy and our ability to serve users through our products and services. We encourage our investors to take this point of view. This makes a lot of sense, and this confirms even more how much of a long-term goal that the company has, and not only that, but a lot of the Shiba Inu holders have. Because a lot of Shiba Inu investors, they're waiting for this coin to go to astronomical numbers. They're waiting for Shiba Inu to have another explosion to the upside. So a lot of this makes sense, a lot of this parallels, and again, absolutely phenomenal news for all the Shiba holders. Now that we have all that news, it makes even more sense why Shiba Inu is up on the day, and this is an amazing day to be up because this shows and this proves our previous hypothesis. We stated that Shiba Inu would probably not have a high likelihood of deciding to drop below the support level. This support level was labeled all the way over here. And yes, we did label this as a support level just because this used to be the resistance level. If we take a look at AMC right over here, AMC also had a very similar price action as well. This was the resistance level, and once it ends up breaking that resistance level, the price goes up very high and very fast. So if we label this also with the AMC stock chart, we could see that right above this resistance level, that is when the stock price or the coin price decides to go up a lot. And so sometimes the stock price or the coin price does decide to fall back all the way to this previous resistance level, which is now labeled as a support level because we are on the downside now, or the flip side. However, if we were to the upside, then again, this would be a resistance level. Now let's apply the same concept with the Shiba Inu coin. So if you go over here, this is actually the market cap, so that is not what we want. We want the coin price, and right over here. So if we go to the coin price, actually I would say that the resistance level would be right over here. We actually did not have a resistance level being broken all the way below this line, which is again good for the Shiba Inu holders because this proves that Shiba Inu does have a lot of resiliency behind this one coin, and a lot of the investors, they are the long-term investors, and this makes a lot of sense with the news that we just decided to understand, and it proves even more of a hint of what Coinbase is trying to hint at. A lot of long-term investors rather than short-term investors that are trying to take profit. That is again why we have this massive candle to the upside that is also represented through green. And also if you look at the volume is starting to turn, it is starting to flip rather than consecutively red days. So the next question is, where are we going to go from here? Well, again, we must talk about both the support levels and the resistance levels. So resistance number one, I would say that we need to break all the way above this level right over here if we want to have a chance at going back to the all-time highs, right? This is very important because we are just about to break this level. Right now, this proves that over here we have candle wicks and we have candlesticks as well. These are two very different components because the candle wick cannot just break to the upside. It needs to be the candlestick. Otherwise, it is not a confirmation. Now that we have that established, let's go ahead and now talk about the support level so we can understand where would be a good buying opportunity if Shiba Inu decide to have a dip. So the next level that we would need to look at if we were to try to get a buying opportunity would be this level right over here. And we're going to label this with a different color. And the reason why I labeled this as a support level is because it decided to go to this level many times. Not once, not twice, but actually 3 times. And so we will label this with the color yellow just so that we can understand the support level and also the resistance level and where we are trading right now, which could be a little sideways. Now here's the article I was referencing earlier stating that a crypto wallet shows an investor made an $8,000 Shiba Inu coin purchase last year. Now today it is worth $5.7 billion. Now the reason why this is so important is because many others, they understand that this could actually be a possibility for them. And so the Coinbase earnings I was just talking about hints that more people, they're long-term holding rather than deciding to day trade because they understand the possibilities of the cryptocurrency market. Hopefully this made a lot of sense. With the Coinbase earnings, I just had to let you guys know what really happened with their earnings, what really happened with the company's fundamentals, because it shows that more people are deciding to hold their crypto rather than decide to sell their crypto, which is how Coinbase, the platform, decides to make their revenue. They make their revenue off transactions, but the ironic component is that right now, their revenues were lower than expected. So when we put all the pieces of the puzzle together, we can conclude that there are more holders rather than sellers. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions, and with that being said, Shiba Inu Army, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.